Yes, I'm still here scrubbing on this old Axelson lathe, and I think I'm making headway. It's not like you're going to get instant results, but I think you can probably see an improvement. I'll stand out of the way here, pick up the camera, and kind of have a look at it. I'm starting to get the stains out of it. You can see, some there, and I'll get this thing scrubbed up and stone the ways and just kind of work on it. This part here was real dark, and so is this spot here where the carriage stop was hanging out, and those stains will fade, and it's really I think it's going to be nice looking. One of the funny things I wanted to point out about a machine like this, a short bed lathe, and Axelson, Monarch, LeBlanc, and American, and others, I'm sure, made these heavy-duty mid-sized lathes. And the kind of funny thing about them, I'm going to point this out, is the carriage, let's get this tape out, is 26 inches long, okay? So if you have a tool in it, somewhere in here would be the closest distance you could get, like between centers, or that real short mount 8-inch 3-jaw chuck, right? So you cut right up to the carriage, right up to the chuck, and that's as far as the carriage is going to go. See, it's got that much more to travel. So you measure from here to that stain mark, and it's 24.5 inches. Now that's less length that the machine will actually turn in length than the carriage length. And the Monarch 10EE is like that too. And it's kind of an interesting thing that happens on a lathe like this. This one's got quite a bit of wear, and let's have a look at that. And I can talk about how to avoid it. Crank this thing back, and this Axelson is really easy and smooth to work the carriage. I have the cross feed dial out. I'm cleaning that. Okay, got the carriage back here. All right. So you can see there's quite a bit of a ridge. I can catch it, and it gets less and less and less here, but most of it is where it's reversing a lot, where they used it a lot. And they I don't know, everything they did with this machine is kind of a mystery, because the cross slide has not been used very much. And you see right here, you don't see nothing. And if you look right here, you'll see the gib sticking out on the top slide. They used the top slide a whole bunch more than the cross slide. You can see how far the gib sticks out here for the cross slide, and how much it sticks out here for the compound or top slide. So they used, I guess they were cutting angles or something with it, and they look like they used the taper attachment, but there's hardly any wear at all on the cross slide. That's a real plus there. And this is fairly typical too. Just a second, let me stand back here. It looks like they did very little thread cutting on this thing, and it just doesn't show any wear at all anywhere. Let's see if I can get it in a place where it'll close. And you can move the carriage back and forth, see? Hardly moves at all. So, and the later ones are adjustable a little bit. This one's not. But this was all stuck, and it took, I used electric air-blowing heat guns to warm this stuff up and get it so I could start moving it. And so that's kind of a plus on this whole thing. Well, one of the things I wanted to point out is when the carriage, this is where it's going to cause trouble. When you move the carriage towards the chuck, and it's climbing up on the unworn part here, is where you're going to start running into trouble with the machine. I don't feel it getting very tight yet, but right about in here it starts getting quite tight. So the effect is probably a couple of inches in here. That'll be a problem. So what you can do, what did I do with that? I have to climb up here, is offset your tool post. And what I have here is, I think, an incredible collector's item. It's one of the very first KDK 200 series, and it's number 14. Patent applied for. But it's got a forward, more forward mount bolt, where the later ones, I have one of those two mounts back here, but it kind of gives you a little more room. Okay, so I'll put a KDK tool holder in there, and you see how offset it is? This is actually, they call it a threading and boring holder or something. You put a threading tool in it. The turning holder's kind of got an angle to it, but this is kind of strange. So with a tool like that, you can get a little more standoff away from the chuck and keep the carriage from climbing up here, and maintain quite a bit of accuracy that way. I've done some tests on this machine. It's going to be perfectly fine. It's just got a little bit of a problem when it climbs up there, when you get real close. So you just kind of keep the carriage back and everything's just peachy. So you can kind of get away with using a lathe with quite a bit of wear on it, like this one. And the old Monarch 10EE I have in there has a considerable amount of wear. But I just keep the tool away. Kind of stand off, I guess, keep the carriage back. Now, what I got going here, this is that, oh, let me get that up here. That bow start thing, okay? So, if you're looking to mount a 8-inch good old 4-jaw chuck, this is a nice one. It's a steel union, just a great chuck. So I'm going to put that on here. It'll be real handy. It's lightweight, and I can use it for smaller stuff. But this is the, if you buy that, try to find this back plate, you'll find Char's had it. It was a year ago that I did it, and they wanted $110 for it plus shipping. And it's the same back plate that bow star thing, D16 mount bow star, and this was like just like $155 on sale with free shipping. So I ended up getting this for like $35. But I think this is going to be more useful on the dividing head. You know, I'm going to have it so it mounts here, but also, see, I can take and drill that for the 4 holes here. Okay. And this is funny. Look at this. Look at that. That stuff falling out of there. See that? Those collet chucks strap right into the back of a standard 4-jaw chuck. Okay, so that's one of the things I'm going to do. And another thing you might find interesting, I'm going to probably do it, is I noticed that the pins, I got a little piece of wire here, and I stick that back there to touch the pins, and it's got a good 1/2 inch. So I could actually move this back. It's kind of hollow here, so you can't cut it on the front. But I can move it back by cutting it back like I did, and facing it like I did on the jig bore with the wall hopper and the tree boring and facing heads. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I don't think it looks bad. Let's get around to this side. Oh, you can safely hang the tailstock over 4 inches.